Hi Glam Squad, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna give you guys all the tea on my favorite setting powders. I'm also gonna give a little review before I actually go ahead and try the setting powders on camera. Before I continue my intro, I want to take the time out and answer the questions that you guys asked me in my last video. So I had a Q&A and the last question was supposed to be asked from you guys. I got one question, which is okay, I'm still growing my channel. This question was from Tiffany B. I actually know Tiffany B. I went to school with her and she's like my childhood friend. So Tiffany's question was, what is your all-time favorite hair color? Long, short, color, etc. So my favorite hair color I have on right now, I love to be a blonde or pink, like that pink pastel that I'll be wearing. So those are my two favorite hair colors. I prefer my hair short because it's easier to maintain. When I have curls or braids or anything longer than this length, it's so hard to do my hair in the morning. I already take long doing my makeup, getting an outfit, so doing my hair takes up at least an extra 15 minutes of my daily routine. Your comment was super sweet and I love you so much for that. So here's the tea. I've tried many setting powders. I've been in the makeup industry for about 5 to 6 years now. So you know, I have quite some experience. I've worked for top brands like MAC. I've also worked for Mercier and I've worked for Too Faced Cosmetics. The list gets long, okay? And while working in those companies, I got to try different stuff. So today I'm gonna review a couple powders that I have at home, and I'm also gonna be trying 2 to 3 powders on camera. I think that's fair. I'm actually gonna try the powders that are least popular because I feel like the most popular you guys probably have tried already, and then this video will be no use for you. You'll need 2 tools, which will be a sponge and a fluffy brush. It can be any small fluffy brush, and you guys will see as the video goes on. Also, setting spray is key. Once you're using a powder on your face, it's key to use setting spray just because it kind of makes it look like skin again, and it just works amazing. So if you're gonna be baking or using setting powder on your face, make sure you guys go ahead and also get a setting spray while you're at it. For the first portion of this video, I'm gonna be doing a little review, and then for the last portion of the video, I'm gonna actually be trying the setting powder and telling y'all all the tea about it. So let's get right into this video. So the first setting powder that I'm gonna try is the Mercier setting powder. This one is probably like the most popular. I feel like a lot of people have tried this before. This is an amazing powder. It holds my makeup really long, but the only problem that I've had with it is that I can only use it under my eyes, and I can only use it to set like wherever I highlight. I am willing to try deeper tones because, like I said, it is an amazing product. So the next setting powder that I'm gonna review is the Airspun setting powder. I always need it. I'm the type of person to bake, so yeah, I need this in my life. I buy it in the shade Naturally Neutral 07-11. Right now I don't have any setting powder in my face. I literally just have cream stuff, so that's why it looks so like wet here. Let me turn my phone off. So out of all the setting powders that I'm rating and trying today, this is one of the newest one. This one is by Patrick Star. I adore this powder. I love this powder because you can bake with it, you can set your face with it. It's so thin that I can use it all over my face, and like it wouldn't like erase my contour that I worked so hard to get so neat. I use the shade Translucent. They have 2 shades. If you're my skin tone or near my skin tone, a little lighter or darker, you can go for this. If not, get the darker one. And last but not least, this is the Jeffree Star powder. I love this powder to use mostly at night. Like when I take pictures in the dark, this looks amazing. This powder, I got it in the shade Beige. Jeffree Star does have a wide range of color powders. I like this one just because it gives me like a perfect banana color, which I can use literally all over my face as well. I love this because it soaks into your skin. It photographs amazing in the nighttime, and yeah, it's an amazing product for sure. And then there's this one. So I use this one whenever I'm using a powder that I don't want to use all over my face. So this one I got in a darker shade because I only use it for my contour areas. I like to set that before I go ahead and bronzer. I just feel like it could be a little muddy when I skip this step. Now that I told you all the tea on the powders, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys how I set my face and how I bake it. I'm gonna be using the Patrick Star powder on this side of my face. I'm gonna use it to set and bake with it because like I said, it's perfect for both and I love the finish of it. It's literally amazing. It holds well. It's my go-to powder right now, literally. The other side of my face, I'm gonna be using the Jeffree Star powder. For this one, I'm gonna set my face and then I'm gonna go in with Airspun and bake my face. So those are the 3 powders that I'm gonna be trying today on camera. So this is what happens 5 minutes after I apply my concealer and I don't put setting powder on it. I'm sure that it happens to a lot of you guys, so this is how we're gonna fix that, alright? So the first tool that I'm gonna use is a sponge. So when you use a sponge, you got a little more coverage out of the powder. I'm gonna do this side with a sponge since I'm only gonna be using the Patrick Star powder. And then on the other side, I'm gonna use a brush because that Airspun powder could be a little heavy. It's thin, but it could be a little heavy. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we blend, literally. Because if you don't blend correctly and you leave crease lines, you'll be setting the crease lines, and we're not trying to do that. If anything, we want to hide those. Blend, blend, blend. So I put a lot of powder in back of the lid. And then I go in with my sponge. I pick up a lot of that powder. But here's the trick. I'm not gonna go boom and stamp it right in. I'm gonna kind of dust some off in the back of my hands. So all that excess powder can like leave. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it onto my eye. And then work it under my eye. Just like that. If you guys see the difference, this side looks so much better and like polished and like airbrushed. This side looks a little wet and like not set. So that's the reason why we even use setting powder. Okay, so now I go back into that setting powder. I do the same. I pick up a lot of product, and this time I'm actually not gonna dust it off. I'm gonna kind of just stamp it on, girl. Stamp it on. And then I go around with the back of the beauty blender and kind of set around those lines. I like to see a little bit of leftover powder there, so I'll make sure that like it's like that, like it's actually baking. Actually gonna do this part of my face as well with it, okay? And this part. And this part. And this part as well. Now I'm gonna do the other side. This time I'm gonna use that little brush that I told you about. This one is from Real Techniques, and it's actually an eyeshadow brush, but anything fluffy would work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing that I did earlier. Make sure that I blend out those crease lines. Blend, blend, blend. And now I'm gonna go in with the Jeffree Star powder, which is this one here. And I'm gonna put a lot of it in the back of the lid like I did last time. Now I'm just gonna put some on my brush, dust it off, so I won't put too much on it, and then just kind of stamp it onto my eye and then drag it a little bit down. So that's how it looks. Look how beautiful that looks, you guys. I love it. It's so airbrushed. This side is still baking. Honestly, you guys can leave your eyes just like this, like it looks amazing. It will hold throughout the day. I like to bake just because I take a lot of photos throughout the day, so when I bake, my photos come out even more perfect. But to the eyes illusion, this is amazing. You don't have to bake, okay? Because I want to try different stuff on camera, I'm gonna go ahead and bake this side with Airspun, which is usually what I do, so I just feel like it makes sense. So I put the Airspun powder here, and I'm gonna pick some up. You know, it picks up a lot. Like that container comes with a lot of powder. And then I'm just gonna like stamp some again. For this part, I pick up a lot of powder because it's a brush. And like I said, the brush doesn't give you as much coverage as the sponge. So you have to pick up a lot of it. And this is my favorite part, that with the brush I could do this. Alright guys, so here I am all set and baked up. I'm gonna bake my forehead. Just did the same thing to my forehead. Now I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup while that bakes, and I'll be right back on camera. Alright guys, so I'm back on camera. I just put some lashes on. That took me about 5 minutes. So now I'm gonna dust off this bake. And before I dust off my bake, what I like to do is I like to use the Peach Perfect powder, which is the darker powder that I got, and I like to go around my contour with it. So like that, when I bronze her up, it won't create any blotchiness, like I said earlier. So with this brush, I'm gonna go into that darker setting powder. I'm gonna dust them off, and I'm kind of just gonna stamp my whole contour line with it. And sometimes when I do this, I don't even feel the need of bronzing. Like, it just turns out perfect. I also clean up the edges of that bake with this powder. And you see, like with the lower Mercier, you wouldn't be able to do this, like go around your contour with it with my skin tone, because it will kind of erase that contour, and I don't like that. But with the other powders, maybe like the Patrick Star and the Jeffree Star, I could definitely do that. With the Hourglass Veil powder, I could totally do that. It's so fine, like I can set my whole face with this, literally. So now with a sponge like this, I go into whatever powder I baked with, which today was the Airspun. So I go in there, I make sure I don't have too much product on the sponge, and I kind of just do this. Sometimes I bring it all the way to the corner of my mouth, sometimes I don't. Today I'm not. I literally dust that off right away. I don't even leave it for 1 minute, guys. I just I go back in with that brush that I picked up the darker setting powder with, and I just dust that off in tapping motion. Perfect. So now using the Ace Beauty bronzing palette. This is amazing. I got this in BoxyCharm. It's so good. I've been using it ever since. This comes like this. It brings many different shades. Today I'm gonna use this shade because I have a harsh contour on, so I don't feel the need of going deep. But usually when I don't contour, I use these shades, either this one or this one. But we're gonna use this one today. So with that same brush, I'll pick up some of that product. I always dust off because I have a tendency of picking up too much product. I just kind of like stamp my contour with it. A tip that I'm gonna give you guys is, if you ever leave that bake on under your cheek for too long, you can go ahead with some bronzer and kind of like erase it. That's key right there. Let me dust that bake off. That definitely was sitting there for about 10 minutes because remember, I'm filming and I'm also doing my makeup at the same time. So the last and final step is setting spray. I'll be using the Morphe X Jeffree Star spray. And here we go. I put a lot of it, literally a lot of it. Let's wait till that dries. This is how the Patrick Star looks, and this is how the Jeffree Star X Airspun on top looks. Before you guys leave, make sure you guys give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and also subscribe to my channel. And most importantly, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.